I always kind of mark the birth of the Central Educational Center, and this is my personal thought on this, with a local businessman named Don Moore, who is active with the Newnan-Coweta Chamber of Commerce.
Back in those days, we were having a real difficulty hiring qualified employees, along with everybody else in the community. The labor market's very competitive here. We got a lot of large companies here now. There just wasn't enough people to satisfy those needs. And most of those people had, the ones that were available to hire had pretty poor basic skills, and technical skills were almost non-existent.
So what he did was he challenged the community. What's the answer to this?
I'm an engineer. I mean, I'm looking for root causes. I wanted to know, could we do something?
One of our local companies, Yamaha Motor Manufacturing Corporation, had been in business here in Coweta County since 1987. They were getting ready to do a major expansion, and they were looking at communities outside of Coweta County.
They had a project that was going to involve a site location for a new golf cart factory, and the value of that project was about $40 million, and it meant about 400 manufacturing jobs.
And while other counties are willing to throw money at companies to get them to stay, the bottom line is you have to have a trained workforce.
And we all realized that our economy was becoming a bedroom economy to Atlanta, and we had to change that.
If we can have those exciting jobs, the high-tech jobs here in Coweta County, where the students are already trained, they're already making good wages, they will stay here in the county and not move out.
There were some very fundamental discussions, by the way, along those 3 years. What is education? How should we deliver that? How should we measure ourselves? I mean, just very basic things on the table.
The state government had the funds that we needed, and we had to show to them and demonstrate to them that we were working together and that we would be good stewards of that money, and we had a good game plan.
We decided it had to be done, and we wouldn't let anything get in the way, and there were no rules.
We were opening up a third high school, and we were looking at the cost to equip that high school with what the other two had. And so we very quickly realized, well, if we combined all of our efforts in one place and had sort of a joint enrollment between the high schools, then we could provide better service to all the students instead of piecemealing it at one school or another. When we mentioned that to the governor, he bought into it big time.
If we don't change and we're satisfied with the way things are, and we get tied up in, well, this is too controversial and this is too politically unpopular, will we ever be able to succeed on the long term? And the answer is no, and you know it to be no. That's the reason that we re-examine, we try things new. That's the reason we have Central here today.
Our goal is to provide for you in under 2 years very viable, technically enhanced career opportunities. And 80% of all the students today leaving high school will have to have some type of technical training and not necessarily a 4-year degree.
And that's what CEC is actually showing people, that the 4-year isn't, the typical way for everyone. It isn't set in stone that way.
What we're doing is eliminating the barrier between the student who is here and the next step, which is college. So what we've done here is we have gone out and got the college and brought it in-house, so it's here. We help them here. We provide all of the tools, all the opportunities to go ahead and become a college student while they're actually a high school student.
It was hands-on. I did hands-on the whole time I think I was in class, and it was just one-on-one, smaller classes. I mean, your instructors got to know you and got up close with you and just, taught you and tended to your needs. I mean, you had questions, she answered it, she was there. Your instructors, are there to help you, and you learn with hands-on.
I remember that first year calling our first staff pioneers because they all stepped forward. They wanted to do something in a different way. We have a very, very creative staff. I enjoy every day walking down the hall and listening to what they're doing because they are doing so many things that are just extraordinary. And I don't think they always know how extraordinary they actually are.
Now you should have your black screen. Just type in IP.
Amicitiae, feminine friendship. Remember, it's related to the Spanish word amigo.
That means when they ask you camera one, dolly in, camera one, pan left.
And see how that works?
2 fingers. Do you feel a pulsation? You go ahead and try, Tasha. Pull this out.
Basically, the opportunities that they offered here, I would have not been able to do anywhere else. I was always interested in doing something in the healthcare field, physical therapy. And coming here allowed me to get involved in the youth apprenticeship program. And I'm in college now working towards that, and I'm still working at the hospital, getting the experience, which helps a whole lot. And usually you can't work anywhere, because she did dentistry, and those are both jobs that you need to go to college for. You don't just go and work there.
Yeah, you have to have
there.
experience
You have to have a
walking through
degree.
the door, and here you get the experience, and you're
already
17,
in the-
18,
yeah.
you know, and the age is getting younger, and I mean, by the time you graduate, you have
I have a
you know,
job. I mean,
yeah,
it's
you have
already
a
there.
definite
You just-
job, and
Expectations were higher, but they were almost easier
yeah,
to
they
meet.
were easier, yeah, because they
you
just,
didn't feel so under pressure. You felt like you were your own person. You were an individual. They treated you like another person instead of a
Plus, you
student in a
took-
class.
Yeah, you took classes towards your interests, so it wasn't just given
Yes,
classes
right.
that you have to take to graduate
then
in
you
high
don't wanna
school.
go, you know?
Yeah,
This
and
is something
this
that
is
you
something,
enjoy doing.
yeah, you enjoyed doing and you chose.
Our goal is for every student to have a work-based learning component, starting with job shadowing. So it's an environment that is realistic rather than theory.
High-tech career demand programs are our specialty, and that's what we do. We feel like in all areas we're responding to business and industry.
We go to them and say, okay, this is our curriculum, tell us what we're missing, tell us what we need to add, tell us where we need to be headed with our curriculum in the future, because we want our student skills to be transferable to the workplace.
I mean, that's a very direct form of accountability, because the very community that you're serving, to a large extent, the business community, is sitting right here, walking around the halls, meeting with the administration of the Central Educational Center, and crafting what Central is.
The average age of our student up until 3 years ago was 28 years old. For the first time in our history over the last 2 years, more than 52% of our students are under the age of 25. So we're closing that gap where a student may or may not enter into a post-secondary education in the past after graduating from high school, and maybe wander somewhat for a year or two in a job that they found that is not going to provide the financial security that they want, or the career interest. They're now seeing that at a younger age and enrolling and starting their diploma programs and degree programs in the 9th and 10th and 11th, and hopefully graduating in the 12th grade.
Without CEC, I basically would have wasted my senior year, and CEC just allowed me to get so much further than my peers in my actual like field that I was pursuing at that time. And it basically allowed me to complete my first year, nearly my first year of my associate's degree, and all of my credits articulated over towards my associate's degree.
It was my counselor. I mean, she looked at my senior year. I had a lot of space open, and I didn't just want to waste it, you know? I wanted to do something with it, and she suggested this.
Many kids go, they think college, not thinking career. They go to college just to go to college. And so they're not focused, they don't know why they're there, and it takes so long. And they may change their majors several times and so forth. So CEC focusing in on tying together academics and technical education prepares the young folks to look at what's ahead of them and the opportunities. If they see the opportunities, I think they'll work harder on their studies, because they feel like they can set goals and there is something out there for them. So they won't be wandering around for years and years and years.
We want to make sure our students leave our schools with problem-solving skills, with some real-life work experience, and know how what they learned in high school, how that relates to the real world.
And if not preparing students to be successful in the real world, I cannot think of what other mission that education might be, where it's technical education or liberal arts education or whatever. I don't want to get too technical here, but what we have found is the closer the approximation of the learning activity is to the so-called real-world activity, the greater the learning and the greater the transfer.
And that's what CEC offers. It also allowed us just to jump right in there, hands-on, and that's what really sticks with you 2 years after I left. I mean, I still basically remember everything that I was taught here.
One of the benefits of that is you get a tremendous increase in the motivation of the students. The nature of the content, the success that they have in the performance becomes motivating to them. And it is a synergy also. Success breeds success breeds success.
We're really excited about the level of technical capability and skills that they have.
They're getting employed. I mean, I have the top 6 video production students right now who are gainfully employed and getting credits for working in the local community. And anyone in the industry generally knows that an internship in the broadcast and video medium is usually an unpaid experience. Well, their skill sets are high enough that they are willing and able, gladly, to pay them to come on board and work.
The adults working and the people that I work with are just amazed at how much I know and how much that I've learned.
You earn their respect.
Because, I mean, I'm only 18.
Yeah, and it's hard for them to grasp because, you know, they didn't have this opportunity. You get the opportunity to make, you know, the salary that somebody who has, you know, spent 2 years out of high school.
Spent 2 years in high school, in college, and you're going in senior
Right
in high
out of-
school,
yeah,
and you're making the same amount that
as
they are.
Overall, our placement rate is 91.5%. That means that 91.5% of our students that completed were placed in employment in their field. We also guarantee our students, which is a little unusual. We have a warranty. If you complete any of our programs, if you do not have the skills necessary to occupy that career, that position in industry, we'll retrain you free of charge. We also are conducting research, and the preliminary results are absolutely wonderful. It's showing us reduced rates in dropout, it's showing us increased rates of continuing education, and it's showing us higher aspirations, where a student would not have even considered maybe a possibility of entering into the dentistry field. Because of working here and getting the confidence of that beginning dental assistant, that certificate that we provide, it provides for them a catalyst to move on.
Most of our friends, you know, aren't involved in this, and we were ahead of them because we graduated from high school with a technical certificate.
Now they realize it, now that we've already graduated.
Right, and they're thinking, man, I wish I would have done that.
Well, I mean, time is dollars. I mean, pure and simply, if whether it's, you know, getting them in here and sending them for the training outside or internally, or paying for their education beyond high school to be the person that we're looking for inside of our workplace, a lot of that is being accomplished now inside of the CEC. So it's dollars. Pure and simply, it translates to dollar savings in the education and training arenas.
I would probably say that the students coming out of here are like juniors in college. Having worked at Georgia Tech and had some students that worked for me when I was a researcher there, I found that the hardest thing they had was being prepared as a freshman coming into college, understanding that I need to be at work on time, and that if I'm not going to be there, I need to call someone.
I mean, we're competing with the Chinese and the Japanese and people all over the world now. And so we got to have people that come to work on time, and know how to do their jobs without constantly having somebody say, do this, do that.
We think that the work ethic that we introduce has had a tremendous impact on the younger student. That is probably the one deficiency that you hear each time you survey business and industry. What do you want from us? Well, number one, we want a student that has a positive work ethic.
To have a person that would come to a potential employer and present themselves well that's maybe better than the resume itself.
I'm here for me, and if I want to do this and go through this, I have to be here every day. I have to do my work. I have to,
They don't babysit you and hold your hand and make you come. And in high school, I mean, you know, when you're young in elementary school, you look at your older brothers and sisters and think, man, you know, they're big, they're grown-ups. But all throughout high school, I'm thinking, I feel, you know, like I'm not even doing anything. I don't even feel like I should.
Yeah.
Like I thought I should
Like
feel.
I don't feel like I should be
Right,
graduating.
and coming here, it was actually like, I'm actually doing something. I'm actually learning. I'm actually going towards something I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, I'm getting experience. I have a job. I'm growing into what I'm going to become.
Yeah.
All your communities compete for economic development. And so if we can tell our large industries, nationally and internationally, that we can provide them with a workforce in a very short period of time, then that is a very strong recruiting point for us. And that's why all the other communities at the state level are coming to me. It's a matter of economics. It boils down to that for a lot of people. So it's a win-win situation. A student knows they can graduate. If they don't feel they want 4 years of college, they can go and look for a job, and they have a job market in which to do their job search.
I'm very happy as a parent to have these opportunities for my child.
Business is demanding a higher skilled, better educated student. And we have to change in the way we deliver skills. And in order to do that, we have to change the way we deliver education.
CEC is a partnership among business and industry, the Coweta County School System, and West Central Technical College, and it makes sense. It's about passionate people, high-tech equipment, relevant curriculum, great teaching, and real learning. It's a philosophy that all can learn, and most to a higher level. It's about accountability that measures success and points toward continuous improvement. It's a culture of expectation to meet a challenging, changing global economy. It's a call to each local citizen that says, you can generate your own personal wealth and at the same time improve the standard of living for us all. Join us, won't you, as we achieve success at Central Educational Center.